Welcome to Threadstorm TV, where Reddit's wildest stories come to life. Sit back, relax, and get ready to ride the storm of the internet's most gripping tales, one post at a time.
My husband vanished on our honeymoon. I just found him in a photo from 1972. We got married on a rainy Thursday. Nothing extravagant, just a courthouse, 2 witnesses, and my mother crying in the back because she felt something was wrong. 2 weeks later, we flew to a remote coastal town in Maine for our honeymoon. It was supposed to be quiet, romantic, and disconnected. No cell service, no distractions, just us and the sound of the sea. And then he disappeared. We'd spent the day walking along the cliffs, him holding my hand the whole time. That evening, I went into the shower while he said he'd walk down to the water. When I came out 20 minutes later, the cabin was empty. His phone was still on the nightstand. His shoes were by the door. I wasn't worried at first, but when night fell and he still hadn't come back, I called the local police. They searched. Dogs, divers, drones. Nothing. It didn't feel real. One moment we were giggling about how cold the water was, and the next, I was being asked for dental records. His parents flew in. Mine stayed with me. People whispered that maybe he had second thoughts, that maybe he faked it. But that man looked me in the eyes when he said forever. I stayed in that town for 3 months. I needed answers. I walked those cliffs daily, screamed into the wind, begged the sea to give him back. It never did. Time passed. A year, then 2. I moved back home, got a job at a library, and buried myself in books. I still wore my ring. People told me I was stuck in denial. Maybe I was. Then, last Thursday, a man came into the library with a box of old photographs. "Local history project," he said. I helped him scan them in. He thanked me, left, and I continued flipping through the files for fun. One photo froze me cold. It was dated June 17th, 1972. The image was black and white, a beach scene. A young couple stood smiling near the shore, and behind them, partially obscured by sea mist, stood a man. Tall, shaggy dark hair, freckles on his forearms, the same band on his left ring finger. It was my husband. I don't mean someone who looked like him. I mean him. Same jawline, same scar under his right eyebrow from when he fell off a bike. He looked scared, like he didn't know how he got there. I printed the photo, enlarged it, and compared it to our wedding pictures. It was identical. I showed it to my mother. She gasped, said she got chills. I reached out to the man who brought the photos in. He was reluctant to speak, but finally admitted he found them in a shoebox hidden behind a wall in his late grandfather's attic. His grandfather used to own one of the old cabins down by the beach, the one we stayed in, the one my husband vanished from. I drove there, immediately. I don't know what I thought I'd find. Maybe some clue, some passageway, something. The cabin had been abandoned for years, but I managed to get in through the back window. Dust thick in the air, the smell of salt and mildew. I walked to the shower, touched the old tile. That's when I noticed something off. The mirror. It didn't reflect right. I stepped closer. My reflection shimmered for just a second, then flickered back to normal. My blood ran cold. I reached out and pressed my hand against the glass, cold, but it hummed faintly under my palm. Then, I swear this is true, it pulled. Not physically, but like my thoughts were being tugged inward. I pulled my hand back, sat on the floor, tried to breathe. My rational mind said stress, trauma, exhaustion. But my heart whispered something else. He's still in there. So I did something insane. I brought a hammer and smashed the mirror. The mirror shattered. But behind it wasn't a wall. There was a tunnel, narrow, carved through rock and time. I crawled in, heart pounding like thunder. It felt wrong inside, like space was folding sideways. My skin itched. My thoughts felt heavy. I swear I heard music, something 1940s, distant and warped. After what felt like hours, I emerged into light. And there he was, standing in the middle of a foggy meadow. just staring at me. I ran to him, screamed his name. He blinked, took a step back. "Who are you?" I broke, fell to my knees, tried to explain, showed him our ring, our photos. He studied them, confused. Then he whispered, "I remember this dream." A woman appeared behind him, dressed in a 70s floral dress. She smiled at me like she'd been expecting me. "You shouldn't have come here," she said. "Now neither of you can leave." I tried to grab his hand. He stepped back again, shaking. "I remember the water," he said, "but after that, just fog, and music, and her." The woman never stopped smiling. "This place keeps what it takes," she said. "Time is elastic here. We're all just echoes." I screamed at her, asked who she was. She only said, "I was a bride once too." Then she faded into mist, like a ghost turning off a light. I pulled him toward the tunnel. He resisted. "What if I don't exist out there anymore?" he said. "What if this is all that's left of me?" I didn't care. I dragged him. The tunnel fought back. Every step forward felt like swimming through concrete, but we pushed. Together. The second we crossed the threshold into the cabin again, he collapsed. A scream, not from him, from the mirror. A sound like glass crying. Then silence. We left that night. Drove for hours without speaking. He slept in the passenger seat like he hadn't slept in years. Tests, scans, doctors, no explanation. Just mild dehydration and short-term amnesia. But sometimes I catch him staring into reflective surfaces, like he's listening for something. I smashed every mirror in our house, just in case. We don't talk about Maine, not anymore. But sometimes, late at night, I dream of fog, of people who look almost real, of laughter from decades past, of music that sounds like it's underwater, and sometimes, in those dreams, I see that woman again. She looks sad now, tired. She whispers the same thing every time. "You were lucky." Then she turns and walks back into the mist, alone. Today, a new envelope arrived at the library. No return address. Inside, another photograph. It's old, 1972 again. Same beach, same grainy texture. Only this time it's a picture of me, standing by the shore, looking straight at the camera. And behind me, far off in the fog, there's a mirror, and someone is watching me from inside it.
Thanks for watching Threadstorm TV, where the internet never runs out of stories. If you enjoyed the ride, hit that like button, subscribe, and join the storm in the comments below.